Two watching? Or is it just two likes? I don't know. I know it's 1:30 in the morning. I'm just watching a movie, The Specialist, starring Sylvester Stallone, James Woods and Sharon Stone. Must be a fair oldie. 1/1/1995 is there. Hello 1/1. How are you, my friend? You must have forgot to wear your glasses. 1/1. Thank you. I'm just watching the end of a movie here. I watched the cricket earlier, and then this movie came on, The Specialist. Sylvester Stallone, James Wood and Sharon Stone, just nearly finished. It's just after 1:30 in the morning here in Australia. Yes, I did a broadcast earlier, and I bought a 4-slot USB extension, and I thought I'd be able to use both cameras in conjunction, but as soon as I took one camera out, well, the transmission ended. So then I got onto Google, and there was Minicam was one download, but it was a free download, and it wasn't worth well, it wasn't worth anything. So I just want to use your inbuilt webcam, but no good for my Logitech C920 webcam. Useless. I only had 480 definition. I'm not going to go sacrifice 1080 high definition for 480. And then YouNow suggested XSplit. They got an XSplit there, but I don't know. I checked it out, and I don't think I could use it. I don't think I'm capable of getting used to it. I know it might seem a bit ignorant, but I'm just watching the end of this movie. I just want to see what happens. Abdul Kadar E is watching, and Jeremy D. Hello to you both. It's early morning here. It's 1:34 in the morning, and I'm just watching the end of a movie, and Jeremy D is watching. Regan Morris 13 is watching. Hello, Regan Morris 13. I couldn't do an earlier broadcast because we had a lot of rain here tonight, and the noise on the tin roof of my shed, well, I could barely hear myself thinking. I did talk to my friend on Skype, but only through comments, you know. And yeah, that's all I could do. Destruction on a mass scale in the movie. Good grief. But of course, Sylvester Stallone and Sharon Stone will survive it all. Look at that. Mass destruction. I just can't get used to this. Where is it? Oh, there it is. It's called The Specialist. And Rod Steiger's in it too. It's nearly finished. Sylvester R is watching. Hello, Sylvester R. Yes, I watched the 20 over for side cricket between India and Australia. India won the first match and they won the second match too. I mean, Australia beat them in the Test match series and they can beat them in the 50-50 games. But the Indians are way too strong for them in these 20-20 games. Oh, well, there's still 3 more games to go. Who knows? We might get revenge. I think the movie's finished. I can turn it off now. Goodbye, Sylvester. Stallone. Yes, and I suppose I better be thinking about hitting the hay. Yes. I've been having some late night, early mornings of late. I've still got to try and figure out how I can have these 2 cameras going in unison. I know expert probably is the way to go, but when I had a look at it I thought, pretty complicated. I thought, you know, there must be some way you can just have some sort of simple switch or something like that, but see, I'm thinking simplistically, where nothing is simplistic in technology these days, except for turning it on and off. Yes. Oh dear. Pardon me. I've got a very dry mouth. So, Wan's in China, I think. And I don't think there's too much of a time difference there. And but anyone in the US, well, if you're on the West Coast, it's oh, good grief, 1:13. It'd be about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, I imagine. And on the East Coast, it'd be about 8 o'clock, 8:30, something like that. Yes, these time differences can be very confusing. Very confusing. I haven't really got much to talk about because it is so late, and I am feeling a bit weary. I just thought I'd just come on and say, BTR Giles is here. Hello, BTR Giles. How are you? Oh, yeah. Yes, I met a very pleasant young lady. One of my earlier broadcasts. She's from California. Goes under the name of Minnie Mittenland, and I gave her my Skype address, and we talked on Skype earlier today. It was only for a short period because her mum. I heard her mum say to her, "You have to do your homework," and then she logged off, and then she came back on and said sorry about that. But it wasn't long until her mum said, "I'll take the phone away from you if you don't go and do your homework." So I had to say goodbye to her. Yes, but she's a delightful young lady, and we've got a few common interests: writing, camping, fishing, reading. So yes, it's amazing, isn't it? 50 plus years my junior, and she's a very down to earth young woman. Very down to earth indeed. She seems a lot more mature for her. I think she's about 16, somewhere around there. But she seems more mature than 16 years. Yes. I noticed my other young friend Holly's not on here, behind the scenes. She's probably in bed. She got any sense. I think I'll be having to sleep in come the morning. I don't usually get up to around 8:30 anyhow, because I do go to bed usually about 1:30, maybe 2 o'clock. And then I, once I have a shower, I get into bed and do a little bit of reading. I'm reading a book at the moment, Heartstone I think it's called. And it's set in 16th century England. I like those sort of books. And it's a tongue twister. Hello, Res Belandia Cruz. 5. Hello. That's why I've been asking some of my regular viewers for their Christian names. It's far easier for me, and I can remember them too. You might notice, no, I'm not sitting out on top. I'm not going bald. I gave myself a haircut live on a broadcast yesterday, I think it was. And I videotaped it and made a YouTube video out of it, because I've got a YouTube channel. And I only had one view. One lousy view. Excuse me. But one view is better than none at all. You have to remain positive and optimistic. Yes. Well, that's what I think anyhow. Well, let's face it. You know, if you're going to remain down in the dumps or walk around with a chip on your shoulder, well, you're not going to have any life at all. No. And life is what happens when you're doing other things. John Lennon said that once, I think. It was also, I think it was also quoted in Mr. Someone's Opus, with Richard Dreyfuss. That was a nice movie. Had some nice music in it. Yeah. But I still haven't been able to find out how to put links to my YouTube videos on YouNow. I tried 3 times last night and it wouldn't accept, and I don't know why that is so. Because my young friend behind the scenes, Holly, she had her Pinterest link there, so I don't see the difference between a Pinterest link and a YouTube link. I don't know. If anyone knows the reason why, please let me know. You get a lot of invites. When you do these broadcasts, you get a lot of invites. So as if they expect you to, well, they probably don't know you're broadcasting, but I'm not going to end the broadcast just to go and watch someone else's. I've watched a few, but not for very long, because they had a lot of people viewing, and there was a lot of chat going on, and it got a bit too much for me. Yeah, it's a young woman who was talking, could certainly talk, and she was offering advice, but on advice on what I do not know, and what qualifications she had, I do not know either. But I can give advice. Now, I'm not qualified to give advice, but I can give advice based on my 67 years life experience. And as I told Minnie Mittenland, Brittany, because she's got lovely skin. I told her not to wear much makeup because too many girls these days wear too much makeup, and it spoils their complexion in the long run. Yeah, they won't age gracefully, nor will they age gracefully if they do not wear sunglasses and a hat when outdoors. And it doesn't matter if you feel like the odd one out, you'll be better off for it, because the things that we do wrong in our life, looking after ourselves, eventually catch up to you. Yeah, so it's just a little bit of advice. I'm full of it. I don't know why I wear black shirts. I get all white stuff over it. Oh dear. Now it's 1:45. Maybe I should call it a night. Go to bed, start afresh tomorrow. I downloaded a couple of programs that I thought might help with this dual camera operation, and I can't find them. I can't find them in my files. They're hiding somewhere. But I'll find them eventually. All you people watching can probably do that sort of thing, easy breezy, walk in the park easy. But not me. When I click downloads and it's not there, I gotta think, where are these files hiding themselves? I tried to check them out only about half an hour ago and I couldn't find them. Couldn't find them. To me it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. Oh, there's a little frog. There's a little frog popping out at the fish pond. I don't know if any of you have acute hearing and can pick it up. Behind the scenes was watching a broadcast earlier, and she heard a bird. I could barely hear the bird, and I had my hearing aids in. So I said, well, you must have super hearing, Holly. She just laughed. I said, you're right, there is a bird. Then she asked me what kind of bird it was, and I told her what I thought it was, and I wasn't sure. I know most of the birds that come in our backyard, and I know their calls. We have a bird called a blackbird, and it's a blackbird, so they call it a blackbird. But it has got the most loud call. You can literally hear it 2 or 3 kilometres away. And when it's in your backyard, boy, is it loud. It's a very boisterous bird. We've also got a speckled honeyeater here. Beautiful bird. But it can be very boisterous at times too. Sometimes when I set up near the back garden as a backdrop for a video, it'll be up in the trees carrying on. I always feel like saying, shut up! As if it'd pay any attention. Yeah. And sorry. What I was going to say is completely gone. Doesn't matter. I think I'm overly tired. I think I better call it quits and go to bed. But I'll have a sip of tea first. Oh, it is good. And it's not tea bag tea either. I don't like tea bag tea. You know, my friends, I've been racking my brain to think, once I start getting around to do the longer broadcast. I was planning one tonight, but it was raining and the noise was very loud and I couldn't do it. But, I just can't figure out what I can really get on about. It's very hard to sit here and just talk, because you've got to constantly keep racking your brain about what you're going to go on with. And I did say in the broadcast earlier that I might start talking about a subject I know better than anyone else. Myself. I know that sounds a bit narcissistic, but I've lived for 67 years, and I've experienced a lot in those 67 years. So, well, I've written 5 novels about the things I've experienced in my 67 years, and but I fictionalised them, of course, except for one. Saturdays and Ice Vovos. Ice Vovos is an Australian biscuit. It's just got a biscuit base, and a biscuit base with 2 strips of pink icing and a jam stick in the middle, covered in coconut. They're not bad. Saturdays and Ice Vovos. It tells the story of an older man, which is me, really. I put myself in the book, although I'm not. I haven't been diagnosed with onset dementia, but that's what happens to him. And he lives in a house that was once his parents, and next door to him lives a young lesbian couple, and he owns a house across the road that he bought due to circumstances when he was younger. And there's an unmarried mum, or a single mum, with a handicapped child, and the child's in his early 20s, and he becomes friends with the main character, William Williams, Bill for short, and Bill ends up having spending Saturday afternoons with this young boy, and they eat Ice Vovo biscuits because they both have a penchant for Ice Vovo biscuits. So when he talks to Graham, because Graham doesn't talk very much, he tells the story of his life in bits and pieces. It goes back, and it's all semi-biographical, in a way. And eventually, the job he's worked in for many years, he suddenly becomes redundant because the company closes down, and it's not long after he gets diagnosed with onset dementia. And he decides to leave the house that the single mother and the handicapped child living in. He leaves that to them, and he decides to include the lesbian couple next door, the young lesbian couple. He includes them all in the will that they can sell the house and split the money between them. Yeah. So I think you'd like it. I think you'd like the book. I'd quite happily upload it to your email address for free. I normally sell them for 99 cents via my website, but to my YouNow friends, if you would like to read my books, my 3 that I've self-published so far, you can just pop onto my website, johnsbooksasp.com.au, and just press contact, and now there's an email address for me, and you can just email me, and of course I'll have your email address, and I will just email whatever book you like. You can check the 3 books there, and there's a hardcover one there, but I can't sell that to you because it costs a fortune to post it overseas. Now, a couple of you might already know, but that's the book there. This is the one that's available on CreateSpace. Yeah, aggravation. Upside down. Yeah. I'm quite proud of that book. It was my first self-published novel. And it's 512 pages, and it's just over 133,000 words. And I think it's a damn good read. But no one buys it. Never mind. Such is life. And of course, nothing ventured, nothing gained. If you don't try things, you never know. There's no sense sitting around just wondering if you should do this, that and the other, if only. You've got to get up, off your backside and start doing things, trying things. And if you fail, so be it. Failure is part of life. And when you fail, you should learn from your failures, unless you're plain stupid or an imbecile. Because no one does the same thing over and over again and expects a different result. That's just plain insanity. But don't be afraid to try things. You know? Give things a go. As I said to young Holly, start a YouTube channel. I think she'd be a hit in YouTube. I don't know why I think that, but I think she would be. But anyhow, like I said, nothing ventured, nothing gained. What have you got to lose? Just a little bit of free time. And we all have plenty of free time, because you can see the oodles of people on YouNow, for example, and right now, and they're yakking their heads off, and there's heaps of people watching them. So they're either very bored individuals, to be on, because some of them have been on for hours, or they're night owls, or they're very early morning people. And well, I can't speak because I'm a night owl myself, but yes, I don't know. There's a couple of my friends here are on a different broadcast now, but of course it's a time difference. Just because it's nearly 2 o'clock in the morning here in Australia, well, that's going to make it my trademark. Yes. Yes, I could only talk, talk to my friend George by typing up things, whatever. He's a very clever man. He's very savvy with things to do with technology. Whereas I'm not so. I find that, although I'm very proud of myself, because this morning I went to log on to Skype. I usually log off on Skype every night, and I went to log on this morning. I put in my password, I clicked enter, and it made a dingle dingle sound, and just poof, it disappeared. It was gone. The icon was gone. It was gone. 12 months ago, I would have been in no man's land. I wouldn't have known what to do. But I knew straight away what to do. And it worked. No problem whatsoever. But I learn something new every day about technology. I find most of it very hard. All these programs you can download. You know, these YouTube programs that make certain things easier. They might do so if you can get used to them. But it's pretty hard for me to get a handle on them. I've got Premiere Elements, Adobe Premiere Elements 12 editing system on my computer. And I bought the program, and I can't use it. I just can't get used to it. That's why I use Windows Movie Maker. Windows Movie Maker is easy. It's a walk in the park compared to that Premiere Elements 12. I know it's got some terrific effects, but I suppose maybe if I spent more time on it, I'd get used to it. But you know what? I can't be bothered, because all the editing I do for my YouTube uploads, I can do on Windows Movie Maker. No problem whatsoever. I'm sorry, I got a bit of a sore back, but you're not interested in that. We all have our crosses to bear. But some of us have heavier crosses than others. Yes. I think I might have to say good night. I'm starting to feel very tired. And this was just an impromptu broadcast to begin with. Pardon me. But it's a beautiful morning, beautiful early morning. It's clear now that the rain's gone. It's cool. It was very hot today, yesterday now. And it is forecast that in the next couple of days it's going to be very, very hot. They're wonderful. I can really look forward to that. I don't like the hot weather. Pardon me indeed. Yes. I think I've got a mouse in my shed. I keep catching movement in my peripheral vision. Something zaps around. It was on the bench last night. I'm sure it's a mouse. And where there's one, there's bound to be others. It's like cockroaches. And rabbits. You go out in the bush and you see a few bunnies hopping around, and you might bowl one over for the pot. Well, for every one above ground, there's usually 20 underground. It's true. You know, back in the 40s and 50s here in Australia, we had a rabbit plague. It outnumbered the population of Australia easily by 20 to 1. There were just tens of millions of rabbits. It was nature gone berserk. And we can thank the First Fleet for that, because it was the landed gentry who wanted, same for the fox, wanted to be able to hunt fox and rabbit like they did in the home country, the mother country. So they brought the fox and the rabbit out here, and of course the rest is history. Even now there are more foxes in Australia than people, and we have a population of 23 million. And yes, I know the fox is a lovely animal, but here in Australia it is a feral pest, and they have to be shot. I don't like to see them poisoned. I don't like to see any animal poisoned, because when they ingest the poison, dying is usually slow and painful. But when you shoot them, bang, headshot, their life is over in an instant. There's no suffering at all. Now, I know there's the anti-gun lobby as much as the animal liberationists. I think they should wake up to themselves. Come out here to a farm in Australia, say a sheep farm. During the breeding season, which is usually in the winter, when the lambs are born, one fox, just for the sheer hell of it, can kill up to 40 newborn lambs. Lambs that would have been bred to be fat lambs and sold for about $120 each. In one night, one fox. So all these do-gooders can say, oh, how can you shoot such a lovely furry animal? It's got to be done. Do you think a farmer wants to go out on a freezing cold night spotlighting foxes? No, he doesn't. He'd sooner, or she would sooner, sit in the comfort and warmth of their home and relax. But you can't afford to be losing that many sheep or newborn lambs. You can't. It's your livelihood. Yeah, I'll knock them over. I'll knock the foxes over during the lambing season. Absolutely. In fact, it's got to be done. And as much as I admire the fox as a beautiful animal it is a feral pest. But you can talk until the cows come home and then some to these animal liberationists, and they only want to hear what they want to hear. They're zealots. There's their opinion, and if you don't like it, you can go to hell. They're very set in their ways, very opinionated. But if they went out to a property, a sheep property, and stayed there for a couple of weeks during the lambing season, and went out with the property owner, and just saw all these dead lambs lying around, the fox doesn't even eat them. Just kills for the sake of killing. Maybe they'd wake up to themselves. Yes, but anyhow, it's like in England at the moment. They banned the traditional fox hunt with the hounds and the horses and I never agreed with that. That's not hunting. You know, all those dogs chasing after one poor fox. No, that's not hunting at all. But evidently they're planning on changing the law again. And there's a petition on Facebook. And one of my Facebook friends invited me to be a part of it, and I said no. As much as I don't agree with the tradition, I'm not going to be a part of it. Because if they don't do something about the foxes in England or Great Britain, they will breed like the rabbits in the 40s and 50s here in Australia. It will be nature gone berserk again. You've got to control feral animals. You have to. Otherwise they'll take over the country. Especially the farming country. Jedi Master James is here. Hello, Jedi Master. May the Force be with you. Yes. 37 minutes. Time flies, you're having fun. Yes, Jedi Master James, I thank you for the invitation to attend one of the broadcasts that you were on, or you were part of, or chatting on. But I couldn't get around to it. But you see, it's also, there was another young lady, I think she's only a school kid, I don't know what she is, she might be in her early teens, asked me to go to have a look at one of her broadcasts, and when I did, she'd already finished. It was already over. And all there was the recording of it. Then she'd gone on to another broadcast, and I went to it, and she's asking or pleading, talk to me. Poor kids. Just a little thing, one. Yes? As I said to anyone and everyone, you can ask me anything you like, because I'm an open book, except there are a couple of personal things that I won't talk about. But you can ask me just about anything. Just little things. But you know what I find annoying about social media? Like, I've got 3 Facebook pages, and I've got some good Facebook friends. And you leave a comment, a private comment, and they don't check it. I mean, here they are. They log out a Jedi Master James. Where in Oz do I live? I live in the state of New South Wales, which is on the east coast of Australia, and I live roughly halfway between Sydney, the capital of New South Wales, and Brisbane, which is the capital of Queensland, in a city called Coffs Harbour. And where my wife and I live is about 5k west of the Pacific Ocean, or the Tasman Sea as it's called. Just do things to help at home. Yeah. I'm always doing things to help my wife at home. I dropped her off in town today because she wanted to go shopping and didn't want me to come along. I thought, hallelujah. She had a lot of things to do. She said she's better off by herself, because when I go shopping with my wife, I can't wait for it to be over. And she goes here, there and everywhere, and then in the end I end up pushing the trolley around the supermarket. So anyhow, I dropped her off in town, and off she went and toddled off and did what she wanted to do. And 2.5 hours later she gave me a call, and I picked her up. And it had just started to rain lightly. And we got home, and then it started to get a little heavier. You know, it took us an hour to almost pack all the groceries away. So I left the last bit to her, and then I cooked lunch. And just some chicken schnitzels with salad. It was but it was so steamy inside the house, so we went outside, sat under the shade of the rear awning, and had our meal. It was a pleasant meal too. Nothing like salad. You know, I like salads. Oh, I like a good baked dinner too. Yeah, a good roast, baked potatoes, pumpkin and carrot, all that sort of stuff. But I'm basically a very simple man, not a simpleton, in case you get confused with the two. Yeah. No, I'm a very simple man. And as you can see, clothes, well, I'm not a priority for me. Clothes are just something I wear to cover my nakedness. I've never been a clothes person. And you notice I'm not wearing a wedding ring. Oh, sorry, left hand. And the reason I've never wore a wedding ring, because I worked outdoors most of my life. I was working, when you work as a surveyor's assistant, you've got a lot of fences you jump over when you do stadia work, or cross-section work. And I saw someone lose a finger once because their wedding ring got caught on a barb and took all the weight as he landed, and it took off his finger. And that was before I was married. So that was enough for me. That was, yeah. Wedding rings can be very dangerous. Invited 5 fans to this broadcast. Well, thank you, 1-1. That's very decent, Yova. And Jedi Master invited 727. I think Jedi Master James, I would probably have to sit around till sunup, and then I doubt if there'd be 727 of your fans were watching. Yeah. But I'm doing okay, you know. For a newcomer, I'm doing pretty okay. I've got over 500 likes, I think it is, and I've got 35 fans or something like that. And I usually rank #1 in talk when I'm talking, maybe because no other feels silly enough to talk. No, I know there are others who do talk. I also checked out one chap who was talking and talking away, then all of a sudden his mobile phone rang and he answered it. Oh, I don't know, I suppose that's the dumb thing, but nah, I don't like that sort of thing. Then again, maybe people like to watch someone answer their phone. I know people like to watch people play games. A gamer I certainly am not. No, not interested in that sort of thing. But I know a lot of people are. And there's a lot of Blue Spirit Maze is watching. Hello, Blue Spirit Maze. There's a lot of gamers out there and a lot of gamers on YouTube. Some of the most successful channels are gamers. Yes, you don't understand much English, do you, 1-1? And I don't know any Mandarin at all. We had a Prime Minister here, Kevin Rudd. He was very fluent in Mandarin, and was the only thing I admired about him. But as a Prime Minister, he would have made a good plumber. Thank you. You became a fan. Thank you, Blue Spirit Maze. I will become a fan of yours. I always return the favour, I promise. Yes, there's always up here this little bell, and I just scroll through, and those who fanned me, I'll fan them. And you've invited 1,189 fans. Well, thank you for that. But I don't know if I'm going to be around. Jedi Master James seems to be pretty well known. Yes. 1,189 fans. Wow, that'd be one hell of an audience. I don't think I can hang around long enough for little EJ. Oh, yes, I remember you, little EJS. Hello. I remember you from before. You know what, I wouldn't mind betting, I don't know, my wife was watching television earlier. I wouldn't mind betting she's fallen asleep in her favourite chair. And she might still be asleep now. And if she wakes up and she sees I'm not in the house, she'll probably stick her head out and say, "What are you doing? Don't tell the time is, it's 2:15. But I'm like that. Oh, the hearts, blue hearts, red hearts, thank you. Pink hearts, green hearts, purple hearts. That's an American Bravery Award, the highest Bravery Award, isn't it? So the purple heart. We don't have those yet. You still got red, pink, green. Keep going, lad. Now we've got dueling hearts. Yeah. Dueling banjos. Well, it wasn't really dueling banjos in Deliverance, it was a guitar and a banjo. But it was a very entertaining sequence, wasn't it? Couldn't that young fellow play the banjo? How's the weather down under? We had a lot of rain earlier, but it's cleared up and it is a beautiful early morning. Yeah, the stars are out, the moon's come up, and I only wish that the lens adapter for my Canon camera to fit onto my telescope was here, but it hasn't arrived yet, and I ordered it a month ago. Yes, I like the rain, but this was heavy rain. It was really heavy on the tin roof, and I could barely hear myself think. It's true. It can be deafening. I can take my hearing aids out. You got snow in Canada. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I subscribe to a YouTuber. He's an off-grid homesteader, Cecily Skinner, and he uploads a lot of videos, and I've seen the snow around Canada. I don't know which part of Canada he's in. I don't know if he's in the Quebec area, which is French Canada, and you got the opposite is the part of the monarchy, isn't it? The other part of Canada, constitutional Canada. I'm not sure. I know that Canada is not a part of the United States. I think it's French and it's English. And I know you've got the Great Lakes there, the 5 Great Lakes, and one of them's, I'm not sure which one it is. Lake Superior is close to, supplies water for Niagara Falls. Is that right? And I would imagine that's where probably a lot of the fresh water for that northern part of the United States would come from. But they're massive lakes, aren't they? Yes, we've got a massive inland lake too, called Lake Eyre, and it only fills up with heavy rains, and we've had those heavy rains, and now it's full, and it's a haven for bird life. It just comes to life. Yeah. Once you have water on the land, anyway, you can do anything at all if you got water. And if you haven't got it, you can do nothing. But Lake Eyre covers an area, might be 10,000 square kilometres. Massive inland sea of water. And yes, it's happened 3 times in the past 5 years, I think, which is great. Yes, and if I had my 4-wheel drive back from the workshop, I'd almost be tempted to get in the 4-wheel drive and go out and have a look, because I've never been to Lake Eyre. It's a long way from Coffs Harbour here in New South Wales. It's virtually in the middle of Australia, which would probably be close to 2,000 kilometre trip. That's a long trip. It would probably take me 5 days to drive there, because I can't drive as much as I used to be able to. About 400k, and I got to stop and set up camp for the night. But I don't mind. No, I like camping under the stars. Of course, I got a cover. I got a cover to protect me if it rains. And then I've got the pleasure of listening to the pitter patter of the rain on the canvas. Beautiful. So relaxing. So yes, Blue Spirit Maze. Right now the weather is glorious. It's right up my alley. The temperature is 24 degrees C, which you can rank as Celsius or centigrade because they're both the same, which is 48, 43, it's still 75 degrees Fahrenheit, but the humidity is way down. That what makes a difference. Today it was hot and the humidity was way up. Boy, it was so uncomfortable. Yeah, even the flies couldn't bother flying around. Townsend End is watching. Hello, Townsend N. I hope you are well. I really am getting tired, you know. I really am. Maybe you can see it in my eyes. Now, as I said, this was just a spur of the moment ad hoc broadcast. Didn't expect it to last 10 minutes, let alone 53 minutes. But I like doing these. I really do. Even though there are times my mind goes blank and I can't think of a damn thing to say. And I'm probably treading over ground that's already well trod. But then again, there's a few here are regulars. Little EJS has been here before, and Wan been here before, and Jedi Master's been here before. Yeah. So people return. Who knows? Maybe if I keep on going the way I am, I might become the most popular talker on YouNow. Who knows? Anything's possible. Well, just about anything's possible. We can't fly like Superman, can we? And how many of you have ever dreamed of flying? You know it's the most common dream. Wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to do that? Just jump into the air and keep on going? Controlled flight like Superman. I think it'd be I think it would be King Royal J3 is watching. Hello, King Royal. Wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to do that? I've seen these men and women with these wing suits on, and that looks fantastic fun. Boy, that looks fun. I think I'd give that a go. Had the opportunity. Yeah. But there have been a couple of killed, but just arrived from Blue Spirit Maze invite. Well, thank you for coming. Now I think all I've got to do is wait for another 1156. No, I won't be doing that. No, I won't. I can't do that. You know what would happen? It'd be like a lot of these people who broadcast sleeping. Why would you want to broadcast while you're sleeping? And people actually watch them. Asleep in their beds. And some of the broadcasts have been going for 7, 8, 10 hours. Holy smoke. Why would anyone do that? I don't understand the psychology behind that. To each their own. You know, you'd have to be careful leaving it on, wouldn't it, the camera on, because you wouldn't want to indulge and forget that you've got the camera on. But then again, they might be exhibitionists and wouldn't mind, but I wouldn't be watching. That wouldn't interest me at all. Yes. No, I wonder if it's ever happened. Good grief. Sleeping. I couldn't believe there was a tag. Yeah, sleeping squad. That's what it is. Sleeping squad. I agree with you. Yeah, it's bound to happen. Yeah, wouldn't you feel embarrassed? But now, as I say, I don't see the sense of leaving the camera. They probably leave the camera on all the time. And some of these broadcasts that I've started to watch, the person is actually just wandering back and forth, and they're not saying anything. But grief, I don't want to watch someone walking back and forth, disappearing out of view and back and forth, having a real close look at the camera. What's the point of that? If you do a broadcast, you want to do it with a purpose in mind. You know, talk, sing, play a musical instrument or whatever. I don't care, but I don't want to watch someone just walking back and forth and disappearing from view. There's a lot of strange things between heaven and earth, the ratio. And there's a lot of strange things happen on YouNow too. The first was Shakespeare. Some of you would be aware of that. Yes. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest and most noble fancy. I have carried him on my back 1,000 times, and then it goes on something which I can't remember. Yeah. Shakespeare. Now there's controversy that Shakespeare never wrote all those plays. Well, if he didn't write them, who did? And do you know something? Shakespeare's signature, if it's genuine, because he didn't do very many signatures, is worth something like $5 million. A genuine Shakespeare signature. It could be a group of people under the name of Shakespeare. I don't think so, though, because in the past there have been some very ingenious people. Leonardo da Vinci was one. Nikola Tesla. Now there was a man who was an absolute genius. In fact, now here in Australia, I saw for the first time a commercial for the new Tesla battery. It's a big unit. You put on the side of the house when you've got solar panels, and all the energy goes into this enormous battery, and you can run your house at night by using the Trail 64 is watching. Hello, Trail 64. And yeah, and that's from Nikola Tesla's genius of a mind. He came up with a lot. If you want to read something interesting, read about Nikola Tesla. The man was an absolute genius. He was ahead of his time by 100 years. Talk about Leonardo da Vinci. I don't think Leonardo can hold a candle to Nikola Tesla. No, amazing man, absolutely amazing man. And so was Edison and Alexander Graham Bell. Oh, there's been some fantastic, ingenious people throughout the years. You know, some of you will know that I'm a firearm aficionado, and I know a lot about the history of weapons and warfare. And I think most of you would have heard the name Winchester. Well, I think it's Oliver Fisher Winchester or Francis Winchester. He knew nothing about firearms at all. He bought the Volcanic Repeating Arms Company in 1860, and he turned the Henry rifle into the first Winchester, which I think was the 18. I'm not sure if the 1864, it might have been the 1872, 74 Winchesters. I'm not sure, but he turned the Henry rifle into the first Winchester, and he kept on Tyler Henry. Tyler Henry was responsible for improving the 22 rimfire cartridge, and Oliver Winchester was so impressed with what he'd done, he had all rimfire cartridge heads stamped with the letter H. Now I bet you there's not many people know that that letter H, that was once on the base of all 22 rimfire cartridges, stood for Henry. I bet a lot thought it stood for high speed. It was in honour of Tyler Henry. History. And of course then in the I think it was the great fair in Paris, France, in 1855 or something like that, where Smith met Wesson, became the famous Smith and Wesson. Sheer happenstance meeting. incredible how things can happen. Just like Bill Gates. You know, he had the money to buy the DOS operating system, which hadn't been perfected, and the guy who sold it to him and his partner must be crying, must have wept when he realised what he'd given away for $50,000 and what Bill Gates turned into Microsoft. But you see, no one ever becomes successful all alone. No one ever does it by themselves. They can take credit for it, but it's not true. There's always someone else on the sidelines. Always someone else gives them a break. Gives them a chance at things. All these movie stars, all these recording artists, authors, filmmakers, doesn't matter who. Someone gives them a break. And the rest, as the saying goes, is history. I'd like to get a break like that. Not going to happen. I said to my wife, I will become a successful author once I have passed away. I said, you mark my words. Once I'm gone, my books will be discovered and someone will say, gee, this guy was a pretty good writer. And don't be surprised if someone comes knocking on the door and she has my permission. Yes, good luck to her. I hope she makes it. What is that? Leanne Meyer 2005 is watching. Hello, Leanne Meyer? Or Meyer? But isn't it always the way? You always some people become famous and more famous once they pass away, like Elvis Presley. Made more money since he died than ever did when he was alive. I really am getting tired here. Maybe I should just go to sleep and you can watch me sleep. No, I wouldn't do that. No, I really. It's 2:30. I really must call it quits. I need a shave. I gave myself a haircut, but I gave it too short. But it'll grow back. Who cares? I don't care. And I'm out of tea. I thought it was starting to rain again. No, it's not. I must be hearing things. Well, my good friends, it is time for me to say good night. I've spoken for 1 hour and 5 about really nothing at all, and I thank you for sticking around and listen to me yabber on. And I will probably be back tomorrow night, unless it's absolutely teeming with rain again, because it'd be pointless doing a broadcast because you wouldn't be able to hear a word I said, and it'd be pointless. Yes, I'm getting very tired. I'm going to say goodbye, farewell, and adieu, and I will see you again in another broadcast. Have a good one. Take care. Drive safely. And be careful. So long for now. Bye, folks.